Okay, we should be on stage now. Okay, I'll just get the screen shared. So if you're attending the webinar, if you just say hello in the chat window, just so I know who's here. And let me know that you can hear me okay. And if you also say where you're from, that would be helpful. Hi Shane, hi Murray, Tim. Dan can hear in Texas. Morning, Robert. It's 3 p.m. here in the UK, and we are in the middle of snow, which is never good. Okay, Vancouver. I was there in September. Good, good. So the sound is working, and the screen is okay, I believe. So this is the usual product tour. It will be your chance to ask questions about the CRM and about any of the features that are built in, and also any extensions that you might be interested in to know a little bit about. We've also got some additional classes as part, we're now putting on as part of the CRM workshops, just to give more opportunities to join and learn a little bit more about some of the other extensions in more detail. So this is just the general overview Q&A, but we will be spending a bit of time doing some more sort of deep dives into things like mail campaigns, sales dashboard, and automations. So they're just a few of the extensions. So these sessions are generally, if you have any questions, just ask them in the questions tab up at the top. And otherwise, I'll just go through the areas of the CRM that you should already be familiar with, but if you're not, then you may learn something. Murray's 1 a.m. in Brisbane, so hopefully you won't fall asleep in the next 5 minutes. So this is the page that you can see now. This is what you'll see when the CRM has some data in. So I've randomized some data looking at general contacts added to a CRM over time. So this is what this chart's showing, that each month. So in February 2017, 19 contacts were added. In October, 59 were added, and then it's dropped off a little bit in this demo data. And then so not so many added in January and December. So this is the dashboard, which will show you the overview of the CRM activity. So how many contacts you've got in your CRM, how many of them are leads, and how many are customers. So I've just generated a ton of customers and a couple of leads, and how many transactions. So this is showing on average, customers are buying maybe just over making 2 transactions per customer. So we're getting a bit of repeat custom there. So then a little bit further down on this chart, we'll show general revenue over time. So again, this is just a high level random data. So when you have this active on real data, it'll look a bit different. And sales funnel will just show you generally how you are doing at converting your leads down to customers. So again, because I've just generated random data and I've only got 2 statuses in this tracking, it could look different with real data. So you could have a lead status, then you could have a prospect, like a qualified lead, and then from a qualified lead, you could have contacted them on the phone. So you can sort of see, like, are there any bottlenecks in your processes that are slowing down the number of conversions to customers you get from the people that will effectively inquire about your business. And then further down, it just gives you an overview of the your latest contacts, and then the recent, like a highlight of the recent activities in the CRM. So some new contacts created and some new transactions. So this is the dashboard page, and you can customize what's there. So you can just say, okay, I'm not that interested in sales funnel or revenue, and then that'll go away. So you can customize this page to show the things you want or the things you don't want. So if you don't want to show the top ones, but you do want to show these 2, again, you can do that via the little toggle, and that just gives you a little bit more customization. So if you just want the charts and you're not too bothered about the bottom parts, then you can do it this way. So that gives you a little bit of a different view. So this is working with the CRM in just as you'd be used to WordPress. So you've got your dashboard, you've got your post pages. It's just all built into WordPress. But what you can do, if you find that you need a little bit more space, you can press the logo in the corner there, and it will go full screen. So if you just want to see it in CRM and have a bit more space to work with things, then that's an option. So then it applies throughout the CRM there. So if you then go and look at your contacts, everything is in the full screen mode. So it just gives you a little bit more space. If you have more columns in this view, a bit more space to work with. So again, if you've got anything you want to see or any questions, just ask them in the questions tab, and I'll jump back and forth between the actual going through the screens and answering some questions. So we've had a question from Tim. So it said, are you going through basic email functions in terms of following through with contacts through the CRM? So that's a little bit what I was touching on here with the statuses and the funnel. So if you've got, for example, a sales funnel like this, and you have a status that you're tracking, which is emailed, then let me just add that. So to add a status to the funnel, you go to settings, and then you go to custom fields, and this is where you can track and change statuses. So these are the default statuses. So let's say we have lead, qualified, lead, emailed, quoted, agreed, customer. So we've added a few more contact statuses there. And then a little bit further down, you'll see that we'll have funnel statuses. So then you can put those in there as well. So you want to track and see, effectively look at how good you are at moving your contacts from the lead status through your funnel. And you save the custom field, and then you'll have those on the dashboard. So it's not going to look pretty at the moment because they're upside down. So this is showing you that, well, you've not actually got anybody with those statuses. So let's quickly just change a couple. So you can do that on this page. So if we just pick, say, a handful here. Just going to change the status there. So if we change the status, you have to do this via the edit page at the moment, but we are adding in the ability to do it via that list view. So if this is a qualified lead, so qualified lead, and then we're doing emailed as well. So this person, say we emailed this person. So these are the statuses that we changed a minute ago. So you can set them up in here. And then the final one, back to the list. Just make sure we've got a contact in each of the statuses when you're doing your lead funnel, because that way it doesn't look funny. So we've got a lead, qualified lead, emailed, quoted, agreed, and customer. So let's say we'll look at quoted. This guy's been quoted. And then finally, somebody that's agreed a quote. So we'll just pick another final random person, and then it will make a bit more sense. So you'll see that all these people are at zerobasecrm.com. These are just, as I said, demo data, so they're not real people. So again, this is agreed. So it all runs around whatever status you are giving people. And then it should reflect it a bit nicer on the funnel. So again, this is just demo data, but you might have a lot more leads in, and then it'll drop off and go quite a bit narrower towards the end of how many customers you convert. So this will show you effectively each of the statuses in the funnel. So Tim I said, are you going through basic email functions in terms of following through with contacts through the CRM? So it's a bit of a, that's how you sort of track them by statuses. But then if you want to go and say, okay, though, so we have a contact that we haven't emailed, so find a lead in the list. So there's not that many of them at the moment. So let's say this person. And then you can say contacts, send an email, and then it's ready to send an email. So this is the email section of the CRM. So this is for sending emails out of the CRM. So you'll see here that I'm sending them from mike@0bscrm.com, and then you'll say following up with inquiry. Hello from Mike. Just checking in to see how you are doing. And then you can send that email. And then that you'll see what you've got in here is, so it's got the same email from the last time I did the demo. So I sent an email to Callie, and then that'll go through, and it gives you a little bit of information there about the contact. So this might not look much at the moment, but when the contact does open the email, it does let you know when they read it. So that gives you the ability there to actually see, okay, they've seen your email, and then you can either give them a call to follow up on that, or you can do other things with the CRM. So this is, but then you send them an email. So what you want to do then is go and edit the contact and change the status. So that person you've emailed. So if you've got a list of leads that you want to talk to, then it makes it easy just to go in and drop an email. So you do that manually with the CRM. So any new lead that comes in a day, you just do the same process. You go in, you can send the email, and then you can change them to an email status, etc. And so then if you back to the dashboard, you'll be able to see then, okay, you're another person on this funnel from lead down into email. So that answers the question, Tim, but if not, do let me know. So Shane said that integrates and comes from our company email addresses. So what the CRM also gives you is the ability to choose. So if you go to your little face in the corner, and then you go to settings, and then you'll see you've got mail. So if you click the mail area of the CRM, this gives you a little bit of information here about the email side of the CRM. So you can say whether you want to be tracking open statistics, show the powered by on the emails, and some other settings here for what you're sending out. So format the sender name. So it's first name, last name, at CRM name is an option. Or you can just have the CRM name, or you can just have what's this one, which is called the mail delivery method sender name. And then we've got some other options here around email for unsubscribers. So if they want to unsubscribe, and then it will flag that contact in the CRM to say they've unsubscribed, and you need to choose a page there for that. And then that's what happens when they unsubscribe. So this is the general mail settings. I've actually got the mail campaigns extension installed, so that gives you a tab there that I won't click yet. But configuring it for your emails, you just check. Yeah, so I'm actually answering this question from Shane. So he said that integrates and comes from our company email address. So as long as you set it up in the settings, so you see here that default I've set up as this WP mail. But say I want to add a different one. So whatever your company email you at company. And then you can set it in there. So if you do it via default mail, default WordPress mail, it's not the best way to do it, because it then, if you're setting up a certain email from, then it needs to match where your WordPress is installed, and you need to have the admin email. There's a lot of things that can stop that being a good option. So if you have SMTP details, you can just set it up here. So you'll get these from your server. So we have some common ones. So if you wanted to send out via Amazon SES, which does have a small cost to it, then it gives you some of these, but you still need to get your username and password, these are just examples there for various different services. So these are different mail providers, and then you'd validate, and then it will come up as another option. So if I go back to this one, validate settings, again, so it will do the test from you@ucompany.com, but you may not get as good deliverability. And then you can add as many as you want here, or set as default. So you can set it up the way you want here, and that gives you the ability to choose what those emails come out from. So I've got 2 there now. So if I go back to contacts, and pick somebody else, so pick this guy, and then send an email again. So this then should give you the choice. So this was what it was before. Or I can say, actually, I want this to come from the company email. So depending on how many you've set up in that earlier step, you can go in and choose it to come from that email. So Ernesto asked, can I use a canned response or template to answer a customer? So we do have a beta extension available for people that can do this. So it's not live yet on their website, but I will copy it over and show you what that does. Give me 1 second. Oops, I'm just activating the plugin. So we've got an extension called Systems Emails Pro. So this whole area is what we call Systems Email. So it's not mail campaigns, but it is like your transactional email, so not your campaign email. So it's if you want to send personalized emails, or if you want anything coming back off on the back of something like automations, then that would do. This is why we call the system one. So we've got a Systems Emails Pro, and let me just grab hold of that. So that gives you the ability to create canned replies and also schedule some emails. So if you want to send a few emails on Friday, but you know you're not going to be in, then you can set up this extension to do that. Let me just find. Okay. So this is hidden away in the depths of our secret development vault. It's taking a minute to find it. So it's a good question. So you can do it via the beta extension. I'll keep looking for that as I go through. But if you drop an email through to the support desk, then I can sort you out with a copy of that. Aha, I think I've found it. Yeah, okay, so I found that extension now. And then, so just 1 second, and then it'll be available. So we'll just copy it into the this install. Okay, so if I jump back to, go back to plugins. So again, this is a beta extension. So it's System Emails Pro Beta. And then this should hopefully activate fine. It was working fine the other day. So yeah, there we go. So what that does is if I then go back to the CRM, and then go back to the emails area, so you'll see that it's added a couple of areas. So it's added a schedule tab, it's added canned replies and templates. Well, templates was already there, but it's also added canned replies. So if you go to canned replies, so I've got no canned replies. So if we make a quick canned reply, so this could be standard question. So this is the title to be able to find it in the list, and then the subject will be the subject of the email, your email about XY. Yes, so, this is a canned reply, and I'll use this lots of times. And you save the canned reply. So canned reply created. So then this will give you the list of your canned replies anyway. So then you can either edit it or you can add new ones. So then if you go back to the emails, and then if we were doing a new email, so this will on a little bit because I've not got a contact there. So if I just insert canned reply, then it'll come up and it'll give you the canned reply that was there. And something's going on with the size of this box at the moment in this demo, but you'll see that it's showing in there the canned reply. So I'm not sure why that's squidged down at the moment. But yeah, so that's how canned replies will work. And also scheduling, again, you can choose, do the same sort of thing with scheduling emails. So this is in System Emails Pro. Yeah, so it's still in beta. So again, you choose a person to send it to, and you can say, actually, I want to send it on at the end of the month, and I can say end of month check-in. And then the send if condition is if you want to say, actually, I want to send this if they're still status lead. So if they've changed status to customer, then it won't send. So hello, last chance to grab our great deal before the end of the month. Then you can schedule that email, and this again should hopefully work. Yeah, so schedule email stored, and then what this will do is it will tell you end of month check-in. Again, it's an email to, so this is the avatar of the contact that it's to. So again, mine's dummy data, so they're just going to be the mystery man, and it's going to send it on the 31st of January as long as this contact's a lead. So you can schedule a few emails and then just let the CRM send them. So that's what's in Systems Emails Pro. And then, okay, so the only other thing I don't think I've clicked on is templates. So templates gives you an area where you can tweak some of the other system emails. So if you are giving client portal access, it will automatically generate emails. So this is where you can change some templates if you want to change the wording. So your client portal access, you've had an invoice, you've had a quote or proposal, your quote's been accepted, you have an event starting soon, or if there's been a password changed. So there's a few that you can't disable, but then others you can. So for example, your client portal, you can turn off. If you don't want them to get the email, you can make that inactive. And then recent activity will show you a similar thing there. So this gives you a list of this is what's happening in the CRM, who's opened it. So there's a few different things here that are shown. So Tim's asked about templates. So he said, are there ways to save templates for reaching out to contacts? So templates stroke canned replies. So I've covered canned replies. Templates, this is sort of this page that we're on. These are the system ones, but it's not really the same type of thing. So maybe it is more you can reply, but maybe they're like plain text emails as opposed to a more detailed template. Again, the other thing you could do here would be use mail campaigns. So what mail campaigns let you do with the CRM? So again, tools and mail campaigns. This opens up a whole new email marketing area of the CRM. So you can say you've got to set up a system, you can make a campaign, or you can make a sequence. So say if you look at the live sequences that we've got going, so these are mail sequences, and you can say, you can do this via tags. You can say, okay, onboarding sequence, contacts that tag me, then they would, anybody that you add a tag of me to, or whatever your tag is, would get this sequence. And as soon as they don't have to tag me, they wouldn't. So this is, and so this is saying onboarding sequence, one's been sent, and it was sent on the 4th of December. So this is the email campaigns. So then you can look at what's going on in this sequence. So you could have something that triggers the sequence to go off. So if you have a contact added that's a lead, then you could just have a single email in your sequence that is effectively saving you the job of doing that manual stage that I was doing before. But generally, the mail campaigns is more for a sequence. So if you want to send a number of emails, so you can choose the templates here, and then you can put little delays in place. You can then add new emails, and then you can edit what you're putting in here. So this is the mail campaigns extension, and the recipients step is the one where you can control who gets it. So you can say, actually, you can use segments, or you can use tags. So these are two ways of breaking up your list. So when I set this one up, I said, send it to people that are tagged as me. So whenever you tag a contact as me, they'll go onto this sequence. So this is another way of automating your email activity. So, okay. So again, if there's any more questions, do ask them in the questions tab. So systems emails, if you do want to, if you're a customer and you're in the entrepreneurs bundle, just email through to the support. So let me send, okay, so the call to action. So if you are, just getting the link to the support. If you want to help us finalize that system emails, so system emails pro, that's the one with canned replies and schedules. Beta. So it's customers only. So if you haven't purchased yet, it's for the entrepreneurs. So if you just do this via the usual, so this should be coming up on your screen now. And if you've not purchased the CRM yet, then if you've not purchased the bundles even, so the majority of what I'm showing here is the core CRM, apart from just those mail campaigns as an extension included in the Entrepreneurs bundle, and so is the System Emails Pro, and that's a beta extension which we've not officially released, and it's the same with this version of mail campaigns. So the version that you saw a minute ago is the beta, and that will be released very soon, along with version 3 of the CRM. But it is available only to the entrepreneur or reseller bundle holders. So I'm probably going to get an exit intent here. So this is the last chance. So, okay, so extensions. So the extensions of the CRM, I showed you just a very quick look at the email campaign, so where you might use that, and then also the System Emails Pro, which we haven't put on the site yet, but it's working, it's available. We just are after a few more beta testers that want to try it out as in advance of it being released. So the bundles at the moment, again, we have the Entrepreneur bundle or the reseller. That includes access to all the new extension releases. So anything that we release that's a CRM extension, then you'd get that. So if you have the entrepreneur or the reseller, and then I don't want to, I already know why they choose us. So yes, so that's the entrepreneur area. So again, I'll send the link to this to the webinar. So again, the bundles. So I'm saying they're available at version 2 prices until version 3 launch. And this should be on your screen at the moment. Okay, so Stephanie has said hi. Hi, Stephanie. We're about half an hour in at the moment. So I've covered some of the specific questions that people have been asking around emails and emailing out of the CRM, and a general high-level overview of just a couple of extensions that are available related to emails. So back to the contact list. So we've got a contact list. There's a few other areas to just touch on. So you can change the fields that are in the columns. So there'll be a select few to begin with there, but you can have as many as you want. But the more you add, the bigger the table is going to get, and the more cluttered it's going to look. So it's always advised to keep it tidy. So you can drag fields in, you can drag fields out, and you can also have custom fields. So we tend to get a number of questions around, can people have custom statuses, and can people have additional custom fields? So this is all done via settings and then custom fields. So in the settings and custom fields area, it's everything that you can customize. So you can add additional fields to address, you can add additional fields to contact, so you can add as many here as you'd like. So again, we advise not to have too many. So website links, if you wanted to log someone's website link, and then there's other areas like custom file upload boxes. So if you wanted to capture somebody's passport, if you were doing some sort of ID check, and then, but then if you also wanted, say, a utility bill, just different areas that you can customize the CRM, and if you want any additional transaction fields. And then further down, we've got contact statuses, so you can put whatever statuses you want in there. If you're tracking different transaction statuses as well, so if you're wanting to make sure you're following up with people that have tried to pay and it's failed, then that is something you can do via transaction statuses. Same with company, and then also what you want to have, whether you want to have quick filters. So in the contact list, whether you want to be able to just click and quickly filter. So that gives you the actual additions that you can add. So you can add things in here, and then field sorts is another area that. So if you wanted to customize how the edit page looks and hide certain fields, you can do that. So if you don't want to be capturing, say, work, telephone, or mobile, you can hide those from the view. And if you want email higher up in the list, you can bring it up to just below the status. And you can adjust like the areas of the address as well. So once you save those, it just customizes the contact view a little bit. So if we jump back into contacts, so when you're editing the contact, so again, just to make this a little bit easier, I can bring in the edit link. And you can also toggle it full screen. So I changed some of the fields around, and I added a couple of file boxes. So you see the emails up at the top now. And I got rid of work telephone and home telephone, so they're no longer shown. And then you've got these areas. So these are the file upload boxes. So if you're wanting to just keep things organized with your contacts, you can add them to different areas. So there's a lot of other things that I could touch on. So does anybody have any other areas they'd like to see? So do ask in the questions. So customizing the contacts edit is something I get asked a few times. Again, if you have social profiles for contacts, so who's this one? So this is Ramona. So if this person was at Ramona, a LinkedIn of Ramona, and Facebook was facebook.com Ramona. I'm not going to check to see if these are real or not. Once you save that down and view the contacts, oops. Then you'll see social. So then it just gives you quick links to their pages. And then any custom fields that we had before will show on this tab as well. So it's just, this is a tidier view, and just to give you a bit of information around that person. So then you go back to the list. So there's a few other settings that you might want to enable as well. So if you go to settings, So there's a few things in general that do make a little bit of a difference. So B2B mode is if you want to also save data on companies and people that work at companies. Assignment is whether you want to effectively group contacts for other team members in the CRM. So if you're running this and you have more than one CRM user, you can have assignment. So that will lock that contact down to that person. So if there was me and Woody working on this, then I could assign a contact to Woody and he'd own that contact. So I wouldn't be able to go and edit that contact. I'd be able to see that contact and know that Woody's looking after it. But as aside from changing details, then that'd only be something that Woody could do because he owns that contact. So there's a few. So show click to call links is if you have phone numbers in there. So if you want to be able to just click on a phone and call it, then you do that there. Or so if you're using Skype or you're using just a general another way, so you could do it via PBX as well. So if you have a PBX connected, then you could use click to call. So if there's a phone number in there, then it'll pop up with a little link. And then we've also got navigation mode. So I'll enable that one. I'll show you that in a minute. And there's a lot of other settings around just how you want your CRM to look. So do you want to make it look nothing like WordPress? So do you want to override WordPress? It hides the WordPress header, menu items, and dashboard. And you can say override WordPress for everybody. Disable front end will stop any, if you're just running a CRM, then it just puts everything to the, like, you need to log in to be able to do anything. And then some upload options. So what files do you want to allow this CRM team to attach to the contacts? And then this is all around the automatic login. So in the activity log, so it will do things automatically. So when you change a status, do you want it to log that? So you could say that, okay. So they're the general settings of the CRM. I thought there was also okay, yeah, so you can choose what type of images you want. So do you want to use the email avatar or do you want to upload images for the profile picture of the users? So there's plenty of settings here around what you can do. So list view is another one to look at if you've not clicked that one before. So you can have a not contacted in X days, and you can also allow inline edits. So if you click both of those, and if we go back to the list view, because I've allowed inline edits, there's a few fields now where you can go in and edit. So you see that this is giving a little dotted line underneath. So I can click on it and I can change this person. So this is sort of what I was looking for earlier, but it wasn't ticked. So I can change them statuses a little bit easier on this list like this. And that's the quick sort of inline edits. So there's only a certain number of fields that you can do that with, and if it is available to be edited, then it'll have a little hovered line over it like that. And then the other area was companies. So that's now, because I tick B2B mode, it's added in companies. So if you wanted to track a company, so we look at the companies, no companies, so it's exactly the same way that you would manage seems an activity log. So say I'm adding a new company that's a customer, so say it's 0BS CRM. With an email. So if you have a company contact email, hello at, you do it this way. So this is I'm adding a company. You can add the logos and other things with that company. So if you're managing a bigger contact list and you want to see who works for certain companies, then this is a way to do it. So companies view all. You'll see 0BS is now in the list, but there's no contacts on that company yet. So if we go back to the contact list, we'll look at this guy. So Ramona, and we'll edit. So you'll see that there is a company area now. So type to assign company, and I can type in 0OBS. So if you have a number of people working for a company, then that lets you do that. So you'll see now that I've also got a previous arrow. So this was my navigation mode that I turned on. So if you're going through a list and you're just wanting to go step through each one, then this is just a quicker way of doing that. So we'll say this person also 0OBS CRM. Save. So what that's done is I've added a couple of contacts to this company. And then they show up in the list. So again, there's no avatars here because they're not real emails, so they're not going to have an email associated. But then, so say you know that you're working with a client and you're not sure, so you can't quite remember the name of the person, but you know that they work at a certain company, then you can do it by this way. You can say, okay, I'm going to go to this company, and this will show you the list of contacts. And you can go, yeah, it was Jefferson. And then you can click on Jefferson. And then you can see in here, okay, works at this company, and then edit this person. So if you saw a minute ago, so this has got 2 logs. This person has actually gone back to the email stage. And we'll save this down. So Jefferson's changed to emailed, and now you see it's now logging that in the log. So you can see actually this person changed from customer to emailed, and then say you go back customer again. So because we're now logging that status change, it's now logging it, so you can actually see the audit trail of what's happened here. So if you're logging the status change and you've got a lead that then triggers customer on the back of a purchase, then you can actually see, oh, this person was a lead 2 months ago. It took them 2 months to become a customer. So it's a good indication of sales processes there. Okay, so Tim's asked, how does the override WordPress change the look of the CRM? So I will show you. So this used to be a little, so we've set it to slimline by default. So the reason we've done that is because some people accidentally thought, okay, I'm setting up a CRM, so I want CRM as my menu layout. So CRM only is what you need to hide a ton of menu stuff. And then if you go down, I think it's on this page. Yeah, so again, override WordPress. Again, we'll click that one. And I'll do it for all users because I'm admin, so this will apply to me too. And then you can say, okay, so 0OBS CRM. So you could have something in here. CRM. Save that. So change the menu back to CRM only. And then I've also made it as to override WordPress. Just double check that, yeah. So then if I refresh the admin area, you'll see it's changed. So it's got rid of anything here. So you've still got, because I've gone actually to the dashboard link, well, that's actually gone. So there's no dashboard area. So if this is what, once someone has logged in and you've directed them to the right place, then this is how it would look. So you've got your own CRM title at the top. This is your update page. So again, because I'm admin, it'll show me this because I can go in and update things. But the rest of the lists of areas are on this side. So contacts, companies, tasks, quotes, invoices, transactions. So again, it's just another way of running it. So overriding the word. So if you've got a user with a CRM role, then they'd log in and they'd see this. And if they tried to access, say, posts, then it would say they didn't have permissions. So again, if you look at team here, so this will show you the role. So I'm actually WordPress admin on this install, and you can manage permissions. So this will take you to various parts of the CRM. So if I go on here, then it's going to jump to the usual permissions management screen. So you can actually say, okay, let's make this person change the status away from admin, however that's gone. Oh, because this is my own profile. So if you did that on if you did this on an actual other user that wasn't yourself, then you'd be able to see the user roles. So that's how you control. So that's what the override WordPress mode does. It removes the WordPress from this top part, and it removes the posts, the pages, the media areas from this menu. So if you give somebody a customer manager role and you give them login, then this is what they'll see. They won't see the usual things you'd normally see as WordPress admin. So Ernesto said, can you add Instagram for social? The space is there to do it. We've not done it, but I can add that to the request list. So we'll most likely probably make it just a bit more flexible. So at the moment, it's in there as like an input box in socials, and we'd be able to develop this so that people can add additional social profiles. So these are just our own little slots, but we will look at adding others. We didn't want to have too many in the list, so we're just up to the 3 sort of main ones. Okay, so we've not got long left in the time. So again, if anyone's got any questions around the CRM, so again, jumping back to the bundles. So right now we are getting closer and closer towards version 3. So this is still our version 2. And so this will cover, so this is our bundle pricing at the moment. So if you haven't upgraded yet, then now's probably the best time to do it, because otherwise you're going to be looking at the new pricing, which is going to come into effect in a couple of weeks max, maybe sooner. So, and again, you get access to all the extensions in the Entrepreneur bundle or above. So this will give you access to all of these. So there's a number of ones that I've not really touched on. So Registration Magic's our newest extension. So that's an integration with a plugin that when people are signing up to your site, so if somebody's on your website and they're creating an account, I wonder if this will work. Yeah, so people normally see this page. So WordPress Utilities, which is a little bit lower down, will capture people that sign up via this form. Registration Magic's an extension to that, so it's a plugin that gives you more control over your registration forms. And now you can capture those signups and the additional data into your CRM. Livestorm Connect is capturing webinar signups. So if you've got people, if you're using Livestorm for webinars, which is what we do, then this will, anybody that signs up in a Livestorm, it'll also add it to the CRM. Exit B is the exit intent form that we're running. So you might have seen that pop up earlier when I tried to exit. And then we've got some other things like advanced segments, some integrations here with like Aweber, member mouse, automations. Again, we're doing a more detailed look in another Q&A class on that. So that's when you were saying about email templates, you can do things on the back of triggers. So if you have a new contact that has a lead status, you can write an email that goes on there every time. So you don't need to set up a sequence. This will just churn them out. And then other areas like Client Portal Pro, so if you want to display files on the portal. So when I was showing you before, you had like your document scans. This lets you do that, so you can customize different areas of the portal. You can change the styles, you can show tasks, and you can show files as well as like file layouts. So there's different things you can do to the standard functionality. So Twilio is SMS messages. So if you've got a mobile number in there, then it'll give you a little option to click and you can just send them a text. So that's just if you're wanting to make sure you get in front of a contact, you can just say, set up Twilio. So Twilio does charge per SMS, but this extension gives you an easy way then to click on a contact who you've got a mobile number for, and you can just send them a quick text. And then we've got various other extensions. So we're adding to this list all the time. So If you do grab a bundle, then you get the new CRM extensions that we develop. So we've got a coming soon page, which I'll send a link to. So if you're not seeing an extension in the current bundles that you think, oh, definitely you're looking for that as a feature, then there's a ever-growing list of extension ideas here. So we effectively build what's the most popular. So we've got a ton on here. Some haven't had very many votes, and some have had more votes. So if there are ones that you're after, do vote. So I will send this as well. Extensions. Okay, cool. So Ernesto said add canned responses for Twilio. Okay, so that's a good suggestion. But so generally, because we do have, if you have the automations extension and Twilio installed, then you can set up a rule that says when you have a new contact, automatically SMS the contact. So that's something you can do there. So it's sort of like you can do your canned trigger action in there. So Dan said, is this being recorded and will it be available for viewing? So yes, it is recorded. I believe it doesn't record my face, thankfully, and it doesn't record the chat. It just records the main. Yeah, actually, I think it does record my face, so you can always block that part out. But so it'll record the main section, but it doesn't record the sort of chat and the questions. So I believe, I'm not sure what options you have for capturing any of the. So there's not much going on in the chat, and again the questions. Again, I'm not sure. I don't know if you guys can see the questions that have been asked. I believe you probably can. So yeah, so it is being recorded and it will be available for viewing. So we stick it up on the YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, then it's useful. So if you to subscribe. So we'll add this video up not long after the webinar as well. So anybody that's signed up will get a link to watch the replay, but also for the people that didn't sort of register and didn't even attend, then it does go on the YouTube, so don't feel like you need to register all the time just to get the replay. So the best bet is to subscribe to YouTube, so subscribe to our channel. So I'm sending this link now. This should. So if you've not subscribed to YouTube, head over there, subscribe to our channel, and you'll see this. It covers our. You'll see the webinars on there. So the last time we did the webinar was on the 8th, but it's also got all of our other videos as well. So there's plenty of areas here that you can watch all the old webinars if you want. It might take a while, and they're about an hour long each. But then you've also got some smaller like snippets of guides on here. So it's definitely worth subscribing to that. And I think that's everything. So yeah, there's plenty of extensions on the roadmap. There's a ZeroBS Inbox so this is going to be a complementary product to the CRM. So it'll give you effectively a shared inbox to be able to capture those replies. So if you're sending emails out to CRM, you're sending mail campaigns, and one of your contacts sees it and hits reply, then it will pop into the CRM. And then so if that's come from you and you're on holiday, then it'll pop into your CRM, and then another team member could be able to pick that up and answer it in your absence. So it's just a way there of giving you like a good solid email solution. So you get your communicating through like marketing campaigns, through mail campaigns, you're sending individual automations or individual emails. This gives you the way to effectively see the other side. So if they reply, you don't have to then always think, okay, I need to keep checking my inbox all the time. It'll bring it into the CRM for you, and you'll be able to see that against the contacts. So it gives you a little bit more of the picture. Well, then there's plenty of other extension ideas as well that we've had people request. Okay, so I'll leave this open for a couple more minutes. So if you've got any more questions, do let us know. But so we do now have a learn area that we're going to be populating with some updated videos as part of V3. So this is the learn page, and you'll be able to see that I've added a couple of videos, and then that links through to the upcoming webinars. So we're doing this one today now, and then we've got another one on Thursday covering a bit more detail on mail campaigns, and then we're doing these more frequently to give people more opportunity to dive on webinars. So that's that section. So again, I'll leave this page up. So the extension bundles at the current pricing, but I'll also share a final link. So we've had a number of questions about what's going on with version 3, when's it going to be available, and so I'll send a sneak peek. So again, I'm not sure whether these. So it's a work in progress page. And so this will give you a little bit of information, and we're adding to this all the time. So this gives you information about some of the new features that are coming in with version 3 and what we're currently working on. And then also it shows the pricing. So that's what version 3 is going to be for anybody that isn't already in a bundle subscription before then. So if you do want to get on board, then if you want to get the version 2 pricing, now's the time to do so. But if you want to wait till version 3, then the prices are increasing, and this gives you a little bit more information about what's coming. So it shows you the timeline of where we're up to. So we're just finalizing mail campaigns version 2, and then we're also migrating the database away from WordPress objects to custom CRM objects. So it's going to be a lot easier to work with the data. So that's it. Okay, so if there's any more other questions, just let me know. And otherwise, thanks for attending. Hopefully Murray didn't nod off, given it's 1 AM, or now 2 AM. Okay, it's all gone pretty quiet. Okay, thanks for attending, everyone, and we will see, hopefully, some of you in the next one.